Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Mode, this being a show where I introduce you to a series that you may or may not be familiar with. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Hulu original series, Marvel's Runaways. Like always, this isn't a review, it's just me talking about a series that I really like that I recommend you check out for yourself. Marvel's Runaways is an action-adventure drama that follows a group of friends which consists of Alex, Nico, Carolina, Chase, Gertrude, aka Gert, and Gert's little sister Molly. After being apart for a long time, the group of friends come back together only to stumble across a dark secret about their parents. The group witnesses their parents killing someone. There's a little bit more to it because there's a bright light capsule and a person disappearing. So upon this discovery, the kids, aka the Runaways, set out to bring their parents to justice. But that's easier said than done when the bad guys are your parents. First, let's talk about two major elements in this series. The first one being the friendship of this group. Like I had mentioned earlier, this group of friends were a little bit distant for a while after a particular event kind of made them lose touch with each other. And now you have them coming together for this one goal, and that being to stop their parents. But it's also the struggle of rebuilding a lot of their relationships because things aren't the way that they used to be. New and complicated dynamics that pop up between the group. In particular, like the relationships certain characters have with each other. Relationships both old and new, which you'll learn more about as the series progresses. And another key element about this series that I really like is that the main antagonist is their parents, aka Pride. That's the name of their parents' little group. As I brought up before, this adds this whole complicated situation to the series because taking down bad guys is one thing, but when those bad guys are your own parents, it becomes a whole other problem in itself. Because yeah, they've done some pretty terrible things, but at the end of the day, they're still your parents. It makes some of the Runaways reluctant to go forward with this whole situation because they were so sure at the beginning, but it starts to make them question their own resolve. What's also interesting about the Runaways is that they have their own special thing going on. Specifically, some of them have powers/abilities, while others have a similar yet very different thing going on. The dynamic of the Runaways versus Pride adds this interesting cat and mouse aspect to the show. The Runaways trying to catch their parents while their parents are trying to get away with everything that they're doing. What's also interesting about this series is that it doesn't solely focus on the Runaways, you also focus on Pride as well. At least where the series is right now, you spend just as much time with the parents as you do the kids. You learn a little bit of how and why the parents got to where they are right now, even a little bit into why they're doing this all in the first place. Which is interesting because earlier I talked about the relationships amongst the Runaways. That dynamic of complicated relationships is also reflected amongst Pride as well. It has this very interesting element of allowing you to get a little insight into your villains and kind of realize they're not as bad as you think they are, because at the end of the day, they still love their kids despite all the things that they're doing. What's also interesting about this series is that there might be an element that the kids nor the parents are aware of, that there might be plans at play here that are much bigger than anyone realizes. Marvel's Runaways is based on a comic book series of the same name, or rather it's simply just called Runaways. Season 2 of Marvel's Runaways premieres on December 21st. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good